February 2011. The police respond to a noise complaint in a luxury condo in Florida. As they approach the door, silence. Inside, 3 items sit on a table. A DVD case of a psychological thriller, a workers' compensation claim related to head trauma, and a copy of a Sports Illustrated magazine titled Concussions. When they look in the bedroom, they find the body of Dave Duerson, former safety of the Chicago Bears. It looks like an obvious suicide. What wasn't obvious is why there was a bullet wound to the chest and not the head. But next to the revolver on the bed, there's a note. It says, "Please see that my brain is given to the NFL's brain bank." Dr. Amalu is performing an autopsy on a Hall of Fame NFL player. He makes the final cut with his oscillating saw, designed to cut through the skull, but stop before it damages the brain. The man on the table is 50 years old, but he looks closer to 70. Cracked heels, scar tissue layered on his forehead, and countless injuries that were never treated. Once Amalu cuts the spinal cord, he gently rolls the brain into his hands. As Amalu and the other technicians gather around the brain, they're stunned. The brain looks perfect. It doesn't make sense at all, because everyone in Pittsburgh knew what happened to Mike Webster, a Steelers legend who, by the end of his life, had completely unraveled. For 17 seasons, he made a living crashing into the biggest men on the field. Every season was 1,000 to 1,500 blows to the head.
The game of football in the National Football League is not at all like a lot of people perceive it. It's not a game. I think it's a war myself.
Because of his brutal style of play and durability, he earned the name Iron Mike. When football ended, his body began to fall apart. Eventually, his mind followed. His family noticed the cognitive decline. It started with confusion and stumbling over words.
The things we do to one another, okay? Hell, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just tired and confused right now, that's why.
As years go on, the symptoms got worse. He would have outbursts of rage. At one point, Webster had to ask his friend to tase him just so he could fall asleep. By the end of his life, the Hall of Fame center was homeless, broke, and separated from his family.
Mike Webster died today. A heart attack took his life at the age of 50.
Amalu knew the heart attack didn't explain what happened to Mike Webster. The technicians didn't think there was anything left to find. Amalu needed to look deeper. He carefully cuts the brain into thin slices to get a deeper look of what's inside. The brain was covered in small brown spots scattered throughout the tissue. Amalu knew it was a buildup of tau protein. It's naturally found in the brain, but when it builds up like this, brain cells start to break down and die. This was something never found in a football player before, a degenerative brain disease. There wasn't a name for it yet, so he chooses chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. 2005. Dr. Amalu publishes his findings in the medical journal Neurosurgery. The paper's titled CTE in a National Football Player. He's excited for the NFL to find out about his breakthrough. Instead, he receives a formal letter. It demands he retract everything he wrote. The letter called his findings completely wrong. It questions whether Mike Webster suffered from brain damage at all. The letter is signed by the NFL's own Mild Traumatic Brain Injury Committee, founded in 1994 by Commissioner Paul Tagliabue.
It is a collision sport.
It was a response to a season where multiple players were taken out with a concussion.
So Troy Aikman, who had missed 5 weeks of play, pays the price with a tremendous hit.
Sports writers started calling it the season of concussions. Tagliabue was a former lawyer. The league said there was no proven connection between football and long-term brain damage. If more studies come out with that same conclusion, it would be nearly impossible to sue the NFL. To lead the committee, Tagliabue appoints Dr. Elliot Pellman, the team doctor for the New York Jets, a rheumatologist or joint specialist. Despite having no formal background in brain science, Pellman and the committee go on to publish 16 papers between 2003 and 2009. Here's what they learned.
The papers that started to make statements about multiple head injuries were not a problem in the NFL. If they got knocked out and went back into the same contest, it didn't matter.
One study claimed there was no long-term effects from concussions in NFL players. The oldest player in the study was just 35 years old. June 2005. Another former NFL player is placed in front of Dr. Omalu. Terry Long, offensive lineman and teammate of Mike Webster. As Omalu learns about Long's life after football, a pattern begins to emerge. Severe depression, cognitive decline. Eventually, Long dies after drinking antifreeze at 45. Under the microscope, Omalu finds the same buildup of tau protein. It's another case of CTE. The MTBI says his findings are
preposterous and just not right.
The criticism comes from Dr. Joseph Maroon, team neurosurgeon for the Steelers. Maroon wasn't concerned about the science. He wanted to protect the league that everyone loves.
Very simple question. Why do you love football?
Why do I love football? I see a running back. It's almost my hits. I see a running back. I don't see him. I want his soul.
Just something about feeling like a gladiator and competing.
These players you see on all of the teams are real-life gladiators. And you can get so invested into them emotionally. There's something about the NFL that does that to people more than any other sport.
For almost 100 years, Gallup asked America what their favorite sport to watch is. For 54 straight years, the answer is football. Most of the highest valued sports teams in the world are in the NFL. The league's media rights deal alone is worth more than $100 billion. It's one of the most valuable entertainment businesses in the US. And businesses like that depend on one thing: keeping people watching.
Naturally, the biggest cheers are for the touchdowns.
And Manning's going to heave one. There's a flag. Beckham, one-handed catch. How in the world? Oh, my.
But the second biggest cheers are for a nasty hit.
If football is the product, the players are the cost.
I mean, I've had times where I've been hit immediately, and I've seen stars like in the cartoons. I've been hit where I see two of you. So I see you're here and you're here. I have to try to put you back together.
As time goes on, more players speak out about head injuries.
It's one of the few times I kind of went blank there for a while.
And what it's like after the NFL.
Once you're out of the league, you don't have a voice. To be honest with you, nobody gives a shit about you. They want you to go away and just be quiet.
Because the reality for some is scary.
I understand how I feel to want to take your life. It's a scary feeling because every day I wake up is a challenge for me.
Behind closed doors, pressure is building at the NFL. But by then, Commissioner Paul Tagliabue is preparing to step down. The man replacing him is Roger Goodell. Almost immediately, he starts to make changes to the NFL's Brain Injury Committee. Dr. Pellman is out. Dr. Ira Kassan, a real neurologist, is in.
I'm a man of science, and that is not scientifically valid data.
Players and reporters are quick to give him a different title, Dr. No.
Is there any evidence, as far as you're concerned, that links multiple head injuries among pro football players with depression?
No.
With dementia?
No.
With any long-term problem like that?
In NFL players?
Yeah.
No.
Meanwhile, in Boston, there's a team building promising evidence.
When an athlete passes away, it's my job to call the family to see if the brain's available.
Chris Nowinski became obsessed with studying the brain after what happened to him. Before becoming one of the leading voices in CTE research, Nowinski was a Harvard football player turned WWE wrestler. But after Chris suffers a concussion in the ring, he develops a debilitating headache that lasts for 15 years straight. Now he works as a brain chaser for Boston University's CTE Brain Bank, the largest collection of athletes' brains in the world.
These are both NFL players, ex-NFL players. 60-year-old NFL player, and this is an 83-year-old player.
As more families donate brains to the bank, a disturbing pattern begins to emerge. The deeper they look, the more CTE they find. Then, 2 cases completely change how they view the disease. Case number 1, Owen Thomas, a 21-year-old linebacker for the University of Pennsylvania. Researchers examine his brain after his death and discover advanced signs of CTE. There's just one problem. He was 21 years old and never had a diagnosed concussion. Case number 2, Eric Pelly, an 18-year-old high school football player. After suffering his 4th concussion, he takes his own life. His brain shows signs of CTE too. Neither took a single snap in the NFL, so this wasn't a professional football problem. It was a football problem. And that's a problem for the NFL. 2009, just outside NFL headquarters, an internal research study is leaked to a reporter.
Here was a study that the NFL supported, and it came out not looking too good for the NFL. It showed former NFL players seem to have memory-related disorders at a much, much higher rate than people in the regular community.
Meanwhile, the story gets national attention.
What do you think about that study that shows a significant association with concussions and dementia later in life?
At the heart of this, Katie, is it's very hard to establish a cause and effect relationship. Now there are studies being done on the brains of former NFL players looking at advanced dementia. What they show is 3 times the rate of depression, 5 times the rate of dementia in people who have 3 concussions or more. But again, a controversial area.
The leak forces the NFL into a corner. Politicians start asking questions. And soon, Roger Goodell is called to testify before Congress. Goodell is asked straight up if concussions hurt pro football players.
You're obviously seeing a lot of data and a lot of information that our committees and others have presented. And the medical experts should be the one to be able to continue that debate.
I just asked you a simple question. What's the answer?
The answer is the medical experts are no better than I would.
He never answers the question.
Players are at the point now where they will not self-report because they need the money.
Following the hearing, the NFL shuts down the MTBI. 6 weeks later, the New York Times publishes a headline. The NFL acknowledges long-term concussion effects. But the NFL already knew. In 1999, Mike Webster applies for disability benefits through the NFL. When the doctors examine him, it's documented internally in writing that Webster was totally and permanently disabled due to him playing football. Before the MTBI papers, Amalu's research, the hearing, the NFL knew before all of it. In the 1990s, Junior Seau is living every football player's dream, an elite linebacker for his hometown team. He just led the Chargers to their first Super Bowl appearance. Even at the height of his fame, Junior knows it won't last forever.
Right now, Junior is in the limelight, but like all players, he knows one day it will all come to an end, and there won't be a stadium full of people to watch his every move.
After 20 seasons, 12 Pro Bowls, and a Hall of Fame career, Junior Seau retires. Now he has more time to focus on his foundation that helps underprivileged kids.
I have great friends, a great pastor. I have a foundation here. I've been able to plant seeds in a community to make my home. So for me to say that I'm going to give all that up for a Super Bowl, you know what? I'll take my rings of life.
Everyone in the public knows him as this larger-than-life personality. His family starts to see a different side emerge.
He would sometimes lose his temper. He would get irritable over very small things.
We didn't know why he was detached or forgetting, or why he would bark at us for nothing.
Junior doesn't know why he's different. He just knows something's wrong. Then the news breaks. Bears safety Dave Duerson had taken his own life.
When he saw Dave Duerson, he thought Dave was searching for answers. Junior was searching for answers. That was a light bulb moment for him in the respect of, I don't know what's going on with me, but I see someone who has things in common with me.
Just one day after hanging out with friends and watching football, the San Diego Police Department get a call.
911 emergency. Oh my God, this is my boyfriend! Who shot himself? Can you say, oh, my boyfriend?
His family says that this came without warning. No, only a text, I love you.
The doctors can examine his brain because just like Dave Duerson, Junior shot himself in the chest, leaving his brain intact.
It is the biggest lawsuit in the history of sports. More than 4,500 former players sued the NFL, thousands of them joining together to say no one should pay the price they have paid for the game they love.
The threat was the league would have to pay close to $2 billion in damages. Plus, they'd have to tell exactly what they knew about head injuries and when they knew it. Here's what the NFL had to say.
But let's be clear. We strongly deny those allegations that we withheld any information or misled the players. And if we have to defend this suit, we will do that and be able to make those factual allegations. But we absolutely deny those allegations.
Everyone thought the players had all of the leverage. But right before the 2013 season kicks off, there's a surprise settlement.
Historic move by the NFL. The National Football League has reached a $765 million settlement with 4,500 former players.
But within the settlement, it states that the NFL won't admit they're guilty. The details of what they knew and how they hid it will stay a secret forever. As time goes on, more research will take place. More will understand the dangers of the game. But as of right now, the story of football and the NFL lives on.
I didn't never tell y'all this little story, guys, about David and Goliath. That big old giant, it was the hurricane, but it was this little old guy named David, that's y'all. And what David did, he got a little old rock, a smooth rock. This your rock, that helmet. And he ran into that big old giant, and boom!